Hello, hello. Welcome to What the Hell Happened at Work, where you can send in your workplace scenarios and I will read it from my inbox, or sometimes people call me or drop me a text and let me know what's happening out there in the work world. Um, Today, I'm going back into my inbox and grabbing out an oldie but goodie. So, this is Ms. Z. Let's do it. Someone wrote, someone wrote that this individual and two of their co-workers were interviewing a candidate. This was pre-COVID. This was an in-person interview. Everybody arrived to the boardroom, set up everything, invited the candidate in, already had a designated seat, and they were midway through the interview and asking questions and, listening to the responses. And they said the person was very professional, very well dressed. It was a female candidate, definitely qualified, and was very impressive. And midway through the interview, during one of the questions, that the candidate, made an adjustment in their chair and leaned forward and released the loudest fart. during the interview. Oh my God. That is so embarrassing. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry for laughing. That is so embarrassing. They said the person released the loudest fart, and then the smell was horrible. I have never heard of this. Oh my God. They said the smell was horrible, but the interview candidate kept talking as if nothing happened. And this person and their two co-workers was sitting there, just kept looking at each other. And so finally, the person who wrote in said they had to fake cough, like they had an uncontrollable cough, and had to get up to go and open the door. So when they left out to go get some fake water, I guess, they opened the door and left the door open to get the smell out of the room, after they excused themselves and everything. And then they came back and said, "I'm so sorry, I feel better," and continue with the interview. So during the deliberation process, I guess when they were trying to determine who was the best candidate, they did admit that clearly this individual was the best candidate. But they could not get past the incident that occurred when the person passed gas and kept talking, never said, "Excuse me, oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed," nothing. So for that reason, they just referred the person to the next manager, the higher level manager. And they chose not to tell the story of what happened because they didn't want to have, the person to be treated differently or unfairly. But they really felt a certain type of way about the person's lack of gestures after doing something like that. But if that were you, if you were the interview candidate or the interviewer, and something like that occurred during your interview process, what would you do? Oh my goodness. This is so funny to me. I have never heard of this. I have never experienced it on either side of the table. And I think they handled it professionally by not sharing that with the managers. They probably didn't share it in advance, but I'm sure after the whole process was over, they did, because they didn't want that to be, some type of disadvantage for the candidate. They wanted to keep it merit based, which was good. But what in the world do you think about as an interviewer if someone does, it's not silent where you're looking around and can't figure out who did it? It's loud and you know the person did it. And they don't say, excuse me, they don't do it. I know this is a highly embarrassing moment for them, but it's also a moment for the people who have to inhale that. So if that were you, what would you do as the interviewer or the interview candidate who dropped the bomb? Let me know. Put your information in the comments. Peace.